DCA spills, we kind of talked about that, right? The things assigned to a DCA are, it's my arm blocking, is in a written list up here. I have this soft key on the very bottom down here set to arm or disarm the feature of spills. If I disarm it now, the mix button does nothing for a DCA. If I activate DCA spills, now that mix button pulls up the thing assigned to that DCA momentarily and puts it away. There's also a mode of this running for people doing monitors called MCAs. A DCA spill, this is affecting these 4 channels mixing to mains. There's an alternate means of having aux sends mixing to a specific bus. So if you're doing ears or monitors for a large band and you want to get the horn section into the drummer's ears, I can pull up the horns and I'd be mixing just for his or her aux send, stereo or mono, whatever. So that's called MCA, Mixed Control Associations. I don't know where that came from. DCA, do you know where the term DCA came from? What's it stand for?
Digitally controlled attenuator.
Is there really an attenuator that's being digitally controlled? Well, VCA is voltage control amplifier, which is physically what the circuit did in older analog consoles. When we went digital, Yamaha, for some reason, decided to change the acronym to DCA. And that's why we all say that now. There is no digitally controlled amplifier. It's just doing what a VCA did, right? And the whole fact that we have DCAs is, comes from the, well, it's a whole side story, but people used to mix on large analog consoles. They used to mix in subgroups. So you can have all the drums on one subgroup, the horn section on another. That way you're not reaching. Remember those big desks? And the problem was, every time you run audio through that audio summing amp of the AUX, you're adding a level of noise. So I've got an audio subgroup. You got a big venue with a $500,000 PA that happens to be very low noise, and the console is now hissing the more I add audio circuits to it. So the concept of controlling groups of things, because that's all I'm doing, rather than having them going through an audio subgroup that I'm not using for typical audio subgroup purposes, why not just have them voltage controlled remotely with a fader in a logarithmic relationship, right? So you just assign them to something that is essentially moving the faders for you, but doing it by voltage. So that's kind of where, and we would have seen that coming on smaller and smaller consoles at lower price points, but then the digital revolution happened, thus born the DCA. The benefit of DCAs now is I can assign inputs to them, matrices, anything could be controlled by a fader. Yeah, DCA spills.